If you've ever wondered whether you can survive gluing your own eye shut, I am living proof that the human body, and pride, can take a serious beating and bounce back. My name is Clara, and I am your average, glasses-wearing, tea-drinking, slightly clumsy 30-something woman with a knack for turning mundane mornings into slapstick comedy skits. This is the story of the day I turned my eyeball into a DIY arts and crafts project. No props, no camera crew, just me, my unsuspecting left eye, and a tiny bottle of deceit that claimed to be quick bonding. Let's rewind to that fateful Tuesday. The day started off like any other. The birds chirped. My alarm buzzed like an angry mosquito. I flailed out of bed like a wacky inflatable tube man, tripped over my cat, Mr. Pickles, and did a semi-graceful faceplant into a laundry basket. "Good morning, world," I mumbled through a sock. You see, I'm not a morning person. I'm not even a brunch person. I need a minimum of 3 snooze buttons and one eye open to qualify as awake. Which is ironic, because the one eye I chose to open that morning would soon betray me. I shuffled into the bathroom with the coordination of a drunken flamingo. My eyes were crusty and dry from binge-watching mystery documentaries until 3 a.m. the night before. I reached for my eye drops, my trusty little bottle of artificial tears that I swore by. Except, this wasn't that bottle. Here's what you need to know. My bathroom cabinet is a chaotic Bermuda Triangle of beauty products, expired cough syrups, essential oils I never use, and random tubes of creams that probably belong to my grandma. I had been reorganizing it the day before, translation, shoving everything into one shelf so I wouldn't have to look at it. Unfortunately, in my genius, sleep-deprived state, I had decided to store a small bottle of super glue next to the eye drops. Why? Because both were tiny, both had white caps, and both were trying to ruin my life. As I reached in blindly, I wrapped my hand around a familiar shape. "Aha!" I declared to no one. "Found you." I tilted my head back like a professional, unscrewed the cap with one hand, impressive, right, and aimed the bottle at my left eye. There was a single drop. Cold. Unexpectedly viscous. Then, the burning started. Imagine rubbing wasabi directly into your cornea while someone blows on it with a hairdryer set to Sahara Desert. That's what it felt like. Ag. That was me. Screaming. Flailing. Knocking over everything within a 5-foot radius. Mr. Pickles sprinted under the couch like I'd transformed into Godzilla. I stumbled toward the mirror, clutching my face, tears streaming from my right eye while my left eye tried to fuse itself shut like a clam under threat. The bottle rolled onto the counter. That's when I saw it. Super glue. I stared at the label in disbelief. No, 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 I whispered like it was a spell that could undo time. But it was true. I had just turned my eyeball into an industrial adhesive project. You think you know panic? Try dialing 911 with one eye glued shut while hopping around your apartment in fuzzy socks and trying not to scream obscenities. I called my best friend Tina first. Because, obviously, she's my ride or die, and also because she's the only person I know who wouldn't immediately call the local news. "Clara? It's 7:15 in the morning. Why are you whispering and crying?" I superglued my eye shut. There was a pause. "You, what?" I thought it was eye drops. Another pause. Then a giggle. Then an outright cackle. "Are you serious?" "Yes. I need help." She took a deep breath. "Okay. Stay calm. I'm coming over. Do not try to peel it open. I swear, Clara, if you use tweezers, I will have you committed." I waited by the door, pacing like a pirate with a peg leg. Every sound was amplified. Every minute was a year. My eye felt like it was auditioning for a horror film. Tina showed up 15 minutes later, still in pajamas, wearing fuzzy unicorn slippers and holding a wet towel. "Let me see," she said, trying to be serious. She looked at my face and winced. "Oof. Wow. That's definitely glued shut. You look like a Picasso painting, Thanks, I muttered. I feel like I'm turning into a cyclops. We headed to the emergency room. I wore sunglasses to avoid having to explain my situation to the neighbors, although it didn't help that I kept bumping into mailboxes. At the ER, I had to explain myself 3 times, once to the front desk, once to the triage nurse, and once to the ER doctor, who had to leave the room twice to compose himself. Miss Kingsley, he said, stifling a grin, this isn't common. But I assure you, you're not the first person to mistake glue for something else. Really? No. But you're the first person I've met who managed to squirt it directly into the eye socket. Great. Put that on my resume. The good news. It wasn't in the eyeball itself, just the lashes, eyelid, and surrounding skin. The bad news, they had to soften the glue with acetone-based ointment, which smells like a nail salon threw up in your face. For the next 45 minutes, a nurse gently rubbed my eye with swabs while I gave dramatic updates like, tell my cat I love him, and if I don't make it, clear my browser history. Finally, after what felt like a full season of a soap opera, my eye peeled open with a wet slurp sound. I blinked. Vision blurry. Pride completely gone. But I was alive. The next day, I wore an eye patch to work, not because I had to, but because I felt it added to the mystique. Everyone asked what happened. I said I was injured in a domestic chemical experiment gone rogue. Which is technically true. Tina, of course, made a custom t-shirt that said, "Don't trust Clara with small bottles." She also posted a meme of me on social media that went viral locally. It was a side-by-side of me with the caption, before, just your average Tuesday. After, glue cipher, the one-eyed wonder. In the days that followed, I made some changes to my life. I reorganized the bathroom cabinet and clearly labeled everything. I now store superglue in a toolbox, far away from anything meant for the human body. I wear my glasses when applying anything near my face. I also developed a newfound respect for optometrists and adhesive warning labels. Oh, and I briefly became a local celebrity. A radio station invited me to tell my story live. The host laughed so hard, he had to cut to a commercial. Clara, if you ever write a memoir, he said, that story better be in it. So here we are. In the days after the incident, Mr. Pickles was unusually affectionate. It's like he knew I'd almost glued my face shut forever. He sat beside me during recovery, only stepping on my eye once. True love.